Hello and welcome to FairButFirm.com. My name is Joe Cortez, former international boxing referee. Well, we're going to start the show with a sad note, Ken Norton's passing. Ken Norton was a great heavyweight in the sense that he was one of the first fighters to beat Muhammad Ali. As a matter of fact, it was Ali's second loss when he lost a split decision to Ken Norton. Ken Norton, that day in 1973, broke Muhammad Ali's jaw. Not many people can reach Muhammad Ali with his flair in the ring, the style of moving all over. He was like untouchable, but Ken Norton managed to get that left hook in there and broke his jaw. But it was one of the things in boxing that a lot of folks felt, well, Ken Norton was unknown. I mean, Ali was heavily favored to win that fight, and that's boxing for you. A split decision went to Ken Norton. They fought two more times after that, and Muhammad Ali was able to reconquer his heavyweight championship once again. And Ken Norton was a fine gentleman. I knew him personally, one-on-one. I met him at the International Boxing Hall of Fame. He was one of the favorites at the Hall of Fame because he was very kind to the fans. Everybody loved him, not only inside the ring for his skills, but outside the ring as well. Ken Norton will be remembered as one of the great ones. And, you know, it was sad to look at the paper and says a classy champ dies. And that's just what he was, a classy champ. You hear a photo of him beating Muhammad Ali. And it was a sad news when I received that yesterday about Kenny Norton passing. May his soul rest in peace. Now this past weekend, September 14th, Canelo Alvarez versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. Well, all the predictions and all that all went out the window, and Mayweather proved once again that he was untouchable. Like he says, intocable in Spanish, just to make sure that Canelo understood that, because Canelo saying, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to beat you, and Mayweather would tell him, yo soy intocable, I am untouchable. And he really proved that that night. It was one of his best performances in the ring with his skills, his speed, his lateral movement, the jab, the right hand, everything that he's known for. He utilized all those skills against Canelo Alvarez. I mean, I was going to fight, and as much as I tried to give Canelo a round, it was hard. Some judges gave him, one of the judges gave him 3 rounds, another one gave him 4, and the other judge called it a draw, and Cindy Rose got highly criticized for her scoring. And boxing sometimes, you know, has its bad side, and that's one night because of the scoring of Cindy Ross. But knowing Cindy Ross personally one-on-one, I feel for her because she's going through some difficult moments right now, and we as colleagues, we have to give her all the support we can. But it was not a right call on her part, so what can we say about, you know, the scoring of a judge? Sometimes, I'll tell you, we got to go back to my philosophy by way of raising the judges a little bit higher than where they're sitting right now, because you definitely have a better view, better angle, not changing the position, not changing the scoring system, but just changing the position of the judge. Raise it a little bit higher. I guarantee you, I tried it right here in my ring, I proved it. If you're up higher, you're definitely going to miss less punches. We had a study done here last year. The Ring magazine gave me 4 pages because Michael Rosenthal, the editor, thought it was a great story. He believed in it, and maybe that's something that the world should start looking at, raising the position of the judges, just like the cameras. You get the cameras at home, all the viewers get a better view of the punches that are being landed on both sides. Unfortunately, the judges, they either have the angle of 2 fighters in front of one another, you can't see, because there's 1, 2, 3, 2 fighters and the judge back here, you can't see the punches. But you raise the judge up higher, and you definitely see that punches thrown by both fighters. I proved it, photos, and last year, November's Ring magazine, if you have a copy of it, look at it again. The judges from the top 4-round exhibition that we did here in the ring, they only missed 1 to 2 punches per round from the upper view. The lower view, and changing the judges for 4 consecutive rounds, changing not the same position, they were missing anywhere from 9 to 19 punches per round on the lower position, the regular standing position. So the thing is people don't like changes, but if we're going to have, if I was fighting, let me tell you this, if I was fighting, I would want the judges to be at a higher level. If I want to lose, let me lose on the punches. that were actually connected to me, but not the punches that were missed. If a judge misses a punch and says, I don't know if that punch landed or not, and I know I landed it, and maybe two judges saw that I landed, but the other one didn't, well, that's what makes these controversial decisions. And I feel that we should all say, you know what, let's do a pilot program. Let's start with something like that, because guarantee you, all these judges that I had here doing the study, they said, Joe, this is the best view I've ever had. Judges 15 years, 10 years, 12 years in the boxing, they felt like, why not change it? If we can see better from up there, this is something that we should be considered. I think that you fans out there should all get together and write about my theory. It's called the Cortez 2020. I call it 2020 because you definitely can see that good from up above. Anyway, with that said, Canelo Alvarez fought hard and thought that maybe he can knock out Mayweather. I predicted if he can do something within the first five rounds, he has a chance. After that, Mayweather will take him to school, and I was correct. I couldn't find one round to give Canelo. It was just not difficult for me to give him a round, and it was a night of excitement at the MGM Hotel, Las Vegas. The electricity in the air, all the stars were there. I saw my dear friend Jack Nicholson, and we hung out for a little bit before the fights started. And he hasn't been in Las Vegas for a number of big fights, but he said, Joe, I couldn't miss this one. And I asked him, what is your prediction? He said, I got to go with Mayweather all the way. But that was Jack Nicholson's prediction. And a lot of boxing folks that know boxing also predicted that Mayweather would win. Some of the fans at Mexican Independence Weekend, 90% of the fans there came to root for Canelo Alvarez, and they wanted their homeboy to win. But unfortunately, they walked out of there very sad, knowing that their fighter from Mexico, who's a young, talented individual, 23 years young, and I predict that he will be world champion once again. Once Mayweather packs it in, he has another 4-fight deal with Showtime. And once he packs it in, I can see Canelo coming back in and being the junior middleweight champion of the world once again. He has great talent. He didn't back off. One thing I'm going to say about him, he was not intimidated by Mayweather. He came to fight. He says he didn't get hurt, which he didn't. He just got popped like a fly swapper, pop, 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 all night long. He took him. He was a little bruised, but thank God he wasn't hurt seriously. So, you know, he went to school that night. And you know what? He went to school. He didn't have to pay. They paid him a cool $12 million plus whatever he gets from pay-per-view. So it was a good thing for Canelo. It's a good learning experience. I think we all learn from some mistakes, and he learned from his mistakes that night. That'll make him a better fighter. So no matter what happened, like I said before, if he was to lose a fight, he still comes out a winner. You know, he learns, and he got a good paycheck. Probably the best paycheck of his whole career. I'm sure that all his fights combined didn't make up to the amount that he won Saturday night with $12 million. Talking about $1 million, Floyd Mayweather was guaranteed $41.5 million or $40.5 million, and that was just guaranteed. He says he was making $100 million that night, and I'm sure he will be making after the pay-per-views. All the numbers come in. There's some prediction that it sold maybe 2 million buys on pay-per-view, $75, give or take a few dollars, and that really adds up to a lot of money. So I think it was one of the largest pay-per-view events, all because Mayweather has skilled. A lot of folks want to see him get destroyed, which didn't happen. Mayweather showed the world that he has all the skills that it takes to be top gun in the boxing world. Now, that same night, another great fight. Danny Garcia against Lucas Batiste. My prediction was that will probably steal the show. The show of the night, the fight of the night will probably be Garcia and Batiste. And I think it was because it was more of an exchange. Canelo and Mayweather was more of a tactical type of a fight, thinking more like a chess game. In the Garcia-Batiste fight, there was more exchanges, a little bit more exciting because they both got hit on numerous occasions. They both got hit, but Garcia showed the world that he has what it takes to be top-notch at 140 pounds. He gave Lucas Batiste, his first knockdown in his whole career. And it was a punch, a left foot. Garcia, kind of pushed him towards the ropes and had him like around the neck. And Batiste went towards the ropes, and Garcia was able to hit with a combination, caught him with a left. Batiste went down, but he was like, he got up. I think he was more of an off-balance thing with the ropes. And he got up unfazed. He was not, like nothing ever happened. He kept coming forward. He tried all night long. His right eye was kind of puffed up. And we thought at ringside there that his eye was going to close shut completely, but they did a great job in the corner. And one thing I noticed was that they did not use the end swell, the little metal device they used to press and break. The corner man, the cut man, was using his thumbs to spread the swelling, and they did a great job with it. So it was a great night of boxing. Garcia won unanimous decision, and boxing was a great weekend this past weekend. And now we have coming up next month, we have Manny Marquez fighting Timothy Bradley. That's coming here in Las Vegas. So with that said, guys, God bless. See you next week.